What is this? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I've been hearing the hype from everybody. A lot of people are talking about these dragons, the new dragon formula. I saw a little video, I think, on SoCal's website talking about how, who's that guy in the lab coat? Like, I don't remember that dude's name right now, but created this new formula. And he's like the super science freak of skateboarding, right? Trying to say it's 93A, but it's hard enough to ride bulls. And if you look up over, people can see you. So like, look up. So this is my little elf down here. He's helping me take off some old trucks because I didn't buy new trucks for this setup. But you know, they're trying to say these things are great in bulls. They slide really well, and you know, being a 93, that they're going to be good on blacktop or sidewalks or whatever. I have my doubts. I think this could end up being a $47 mistake. Okay, so I said that ahead of time. Now, if I like them, you know I'm not bullshitting. Nobody sponsors anything. I pay out the pocket dearly for all of it, and I'm going to give you my true opinion if these pull it off in the bull. Now, for a lot of people, you guys want to come on, you know, skate forums and talk about your 78A wheels in the bull or your, you know, 82, you know, your super soft wheels in the bull. To anybody that rides bull a lot, automatically thinks they're hearing from a beginner when that's said. So only reason I'm bringing that out is so that you guys know, because we all went through that phase. I did too. I really like how quiet these wheels are. I feel like they're going to protect me and keep me safer. And it's a better wheel for me, you know. But when we're beginners, we try to tell everybody that. And the educated, more experienced skater at the park is going to tell, they're going to automatically know in their head that you're a noob for you gamers. So, to me, new formula or noob wheel. Now, if you're going to do slappies or you're going to do stuff in the streets, I'm not going to diss this wheel. It's perfect. The size is great too. This is 64 millimeter. It's a lot like my, it's the same shape, I believe, as my G-Bones that I have in blue on my other deck. That's just a 97A, so a much harder version. I was going to put it on here. I went with green. I got some green rails, and I'm trying some new bearings today. Shake Junt. I don't know anything about these bearings or if they're any good. And I got some Shorty's hardware. I did think I screwed up on the riser pads. I ordered some 3/8 inch riser pads. I've never used those before. I have tried a 1/2 inch, and everybody always says, yo, when you're riding these bigger wheels, you need to break into the 1/2 inch category riser pads, and I can't do that. I put them on a board one time and felt like I was riding a lifted truck. It's too high. If I have to skate like that to avoid wheel bite, I won't. So, I've got some 1/4 inch that I'm taking off this other board with the 180 millimeter Thunder 10-inch truck. Now, a lot of you guys probably didn't know Thunder had one also. Thunder does have one. I don't see it available on a lot of sites online. Matter of fact, if you're looking for the 10-inch Ace truck, which is my favorite, the only places I've seen that are Skate Warehouse and SoCal. And as soon as I want to order another set, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot because they're all going to be gone now that I said something. So anyway, let's get into this. I got some grip tape here as well. So refresh your memory on this deck. It's 35 inches long. So I think my normal decks are like 32.5 or something, maybe close to 33. So I got a little over 2 inches of length overall on this. Grip tape is usually sold by 33, so I came up short. And I did order another piece. I'm going to put 2 inches of this right across the top of the nose. So let's do this. I'm going to try to be fast at this. I try to do this as a live stream because I think going forward in the future, I want to start going live like once a week, you know, do something like every Saturday or Friday night. Maybe Friday nights would be a good night. So that's probably going to be happening. But, oh, the grip tape. Somebody's curious about the grip tape before I grip the board. So this is the animal chin graphic online. I thought it was pretty cool. But truthfully, it was the only one that they had, I think, that was in the 10-inch wide range. So 10.5. So here we go. It's got a little bit of white on each side, so I'm going to put that on the back. Some super thick tape, man. I don't know if it's mob. I prefer mob. And it isn't, so. But it feels pretty good. It feels like a paper grip, kind of. I don't know the difference about grip tapes, though. I hear from your comments sometimes. I think because of the way I'm going to grip this, I have to get the front fairly level, or that's going to look stupid. Hey, Killian, come help me. I'm going to really screw this up. Don't touch this to the board, but try to only touch the very end. Hold it up. Hold up. Don't let it touch. I need to be... This isn't level. It's going to look stupid. Okay, don't put it down yet. I'll take it from you. Watch me not have it go all the way to the back. Now that I put it on, it doesn't look totally level. What the... Wait a second. Oh boy. Okay, I think that's good enough. Does that look level to you guys? I think it's a little off. From what I'm seeing is this side is a little lower. This side's a little lighter, higher, but what are we talking, 1/8 of an inch? It's probably as close as I would get it. I could have measured, but I don't do anything like that. Even my review videos, right? They're like really... They're not super detailed or scientific. This is how it makes me feel. And I think I like it. I got some huge air bubbles though. All right, but I'm trying to do this board fast today. So let's grab my trusty dull knife. This is a weird shaped board, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it down at the wheel wells. I think I missed that spot. And then bend it over so I can get a clean cut. You got the trucks off?
I do.
Sweet. Dude, I guess we can reuse the hardware. I wasn't thinking I was going to rob trucks off another deck. You know, so I've been talking a lot lately about the groove all the time on the channel. That's just the biggest thing. I'm going to be known for like the douchey thing of skateboarding, but I'm okay with that. I don't care. And a lot of you guys don't get it. Some of you guys don't get it at all. I think I'll go in after the fact.
Yes.
I can knock that on the ground because I have a helper in here. Really capable helper, right, Tony?
Yes.
Exciting news for me is Killian just finished his first board graphic. So I'm going to be looking for a company that can put graphics on a board for me. I'll make a couple. I may have the chance to sell a couple if somebody's interested in it. But I want to get it for myself for sure. And I think it's a great way to preserve the art that my kids have done. Killian and my daughter Phoenix, they're very talented artistically. And a lot of dads say that. But I ain't just saying that. I freaking mean it. These kids are super talented when it comes to art. And you'll know it when I put it on a graphic. All right, so what do I need here? Some scissors? I probably should get some scissors and just cut this close. We got almost a full line. Do I have scissors? Do I have a knife that I want to dull? You got me some scissors? Thank you. All right, so this is going to be an eyesore. I'm just knocking everything on the ground. What do you guys think about that? A 2-inch strip? I thought it kind of goes. Almost don't need to grip the top of that. That might be a lot softer on my thumbs. I could probably use my fingerprint scanner on my phone again. But I wanted to show you guys something. So this here is a 9-inch deck. Thank you. Let's pretend this is a 10-inch deck. And let's pretend this is, I guess it doesn't matter. This is about wheelbase. So when we're talking about wheelbase here, we're talking about the measurement from the center of the front bolts on the back truck to the center of the back bolts on the front truck. That measurement is your wheelbase. I think a lot of reissue boards and a lot of street skater popsicle boards, they're in the 14 range, dodging all around from 14. I think then when you get into transition boards or pull boards or whatever, you start getting at 15 and above. Now I've found through experience that I won't buy anything under 15. And then I prefer it to be 15 and a half to 16. I have one board, the Frankenstein board I made a rap song about that board. It has a 16-inch wheelbase because I cut it down from an Alva that had a really long wheelbase. And I like that the best. But this new board is 17 and a half on the wheelbase. So I'm giving myself, 2.5 inches on some of the decks, or I ride the large 10-inch wide Black Label. I ride that in the 15 and a half inch position versus the 16. Because I just feel like the 16 is pulling it out from the wheel well a little bit. And so I don't ride it there. But I'm really anxious to try this big wheelbase deck. I think I'm going to prefer it. I think I'm going to love it. And there's only one way to find out, right? Unless I bump into the dinosaur at the skate park who's riding a board like that. I have not seen that often. I remember one time over in San Marcos at that Crucible, that tiny little pool board, that tiny little steep, deep, and narrow. That pool is aggro, and I met an old guy over there with a big beer belly several years back, 6 years ago, that was riding a large wheelbase board. I think his was even bigger, maybe like 18 inches or something like that. And he loved it. I was afraid. He's like, you want to drop in? I'm like, hell no, not on that board. I'm worried enough dropping in on pool transition like that. But I wanted to show you foot positioning. Where I typically ride, I have my new shoe. I got on the custom thing on Vans and got a little carried away. The reason I did the custom order is because I have a wide foot. And in case you guys didn't know, you guys with wide feet that think you can't wear Vans, there's two ways. You either go black, all white, slip-on, or I think even the lace-ups, all black, all white, or black and white checkered. They have in the wide variety. Or you spend $90 on their custom shoe. I did. I went a little nuts on the colors. I'm the commandant of flamboyancy. You guys know. You've seen the shorts I wear at the skate park. The old man don't really care what anyone thinks. I'm a little nervous being seen at the bowl with these, though. I'm not going to lie. They're probably going to end up on some cruiser board that I take to the store and back. All right, so footing-wise, people always say, on Goofy Foot, so we're going to have it like that. People always say on tutorials, skate tutorials, that you're going to want to have your front foot just covering maybe the bottom 2 bolts for a standard position. Now, this is a 15-inch wheelbase, maybe 15 and a half, I'm not quite sure. My other board's 15 and a half, so it's about the same, even though the width is wider. When I'm on that board and I'm rolling into that pool going really fast, or that bowl, most of the time, I end up with my foot up here. I'm covering all the bolts and I'm up in the pocket, okay? And it always feels off. It feels like I'm kind of a little too wedged in on the board, like I'd like to stretch out more. Now, I've said before, in shoes, in Vans, I'm 5'11". But I always seem to prefer things that are bigger. Like I ride 29-inch BMX bikes. I have to put a laid-back seat post on it. I like large frames on anything. I'm not going to buy a smaller frame. I like to stretch out more. I don't know what it is or why. And I think, as you know, I'm not somebody who's 6'4" with a size 14 shoe. My shoe's like an 11. It boggles my mind that I see so many guys of like that size guys on like little setups. It trips me out because, man, I really like to stretch out. Now, when I stand on this board, I'm about right where they say you're supposed to, right? Those people who know, on the 17.5-inch wheelbase, I'm probably like right there, and it feels so good when I stand on it. Maybe even a little back behind the bolts, just a tad. So we'll see. There's only one way to know, and I might as well share my experience with you guys here because that's just what I do. All right, now, let's do this. You got me this. So I think the best side, we got a whole block right here, and this is going to be an easy one to cut because it has checkers. So those are already lines. So I think I really only need to go. I think if I cut off 2, I'm perfect. Watch this be just a little short. These are my wife's kitchen scissors. I wouldn't want to get my all my knives dull for this, and I can resharpen those. I haven't had much luck sharpening scissors before. All right, so there's that. Let's get that out of the way. I got skate shit all over the place in here. Took a trip over to Zoomies yesterday for this. Paid $12 for this 9-inch piece of grip for this piece. So let's see how this will fit. Ooh, nice cut. That's very flush. Very flush. That looks kind of cool, actually. I lost my other knife. All right. This one's a little sharper. I hope it's going to work. The reason I was going to try to go live on this is because I wanted to invite locals to meet me out there. Maybe I'll make a community post when I'm done with this so that I can do that. Oh, do you guys hear my knees? I heard it. Someone just said, why do you do that anyway? It ends up heating up the edge of the grip tape and getting it to stick better so it doesn't start peeling up on you. And you know what? When you have that happen, you're really pissed. All right. Now, let's just... There it is. I think that looks pretty sick. It looks punk rock, doesn't it? What do you think? You guys think? If you think that looks punk rock, hit the like button for me, okay? I need to start asking you guys to hit the like button for me. I've avoided that in the past because I felt like people hit the like button less. And I was just like, I'm not going to ask him anymore. But now, because I've been getting so many nice comments lately, I've been feeling really good about the channel and doing the videos. And even though they don't get viewed nearly as much as they used to before I was in the hospital, they seem like the people who are watching them appreciate them more. St. Christopher, shout out to you. Frankie, you know, dog. We always talk in my Facebook group. I've also been a little more regular on that thing. I hate Zuckerberg and therefore hate Facebook. And I didn't hate Instagram until I found out he bought it. And now I hate that more too. But besides my email, which you can find in the more section, I think my email's in there. If you want to send me a message, you can do it that way. I admit I'm not great at getting back to messages, not because I got too many. Oh, dude, Guitar Center's calling. Let's get this call real quick. All right, so let's hurry up on this so we can get your gear, Billy. What do you think? What do I do first? First, I'm going to drop these bolts in. So I have new shorty bolts, but no point in using those yet. All right. I'm going to need those over here. Did you want to put bearings in the wheels for me? Will you? Let me open this up. Will you? I actually asked. Of course he will. He'll do anything I say, right, boys? Will you? Will you? All right, good.
That's that one.
Tastes like a lime. All right, I kind of like green wheels, I gotta admit. Any of you guys out there watch Ninja Lifestyle? I know he likes green wheels and green laces too. I find that guy freaking so funny. And I noticed the other day he threw an emoji on one of my shorts. He's probably making fun of me, and I don't even care. Honestly, that dude's content's so funny. If he ever roasted me, I'd have no problem with it. These are the indie bolts I can see. Nice indie logos on them. I was looking at Skate Hardware. There they are. I was looking at Skate Hardware last night, and there was actually someone on eBay that was selling some used bolts. Yeah, used 1.25" bolts. These things had no paint on them. They were rusted. The little nuts, how they have that vinyl washer on the inside, those things were peeling out and broken down, and I was like honestly, literally tripping. Here, let me open those up on here. I was literally tripping. They were asking $5.50, no shipping, but I mean, you could buy brand new bolts for the same price, and I was bewildered by that. Can you put these in the toolbox for me? Yeah, figure that out. All right, so I was shopping by color here. I didn't really want to buy the premium bearings. I don't know how these shake junt bearings are. I will let you guys know what I think of them. For the most part, I think a lot of the bearing hype is mostly bullshit. There's my favorite bearings are the Bronson ceramic bearings because of how dead quiet they are. I love those bearings because of that. Spacers, I don't use them. So those are my favorite, but that's a $70 set of bearings. I think I usually buy them when I see them for $60. But I just can't make myself do that all the time. These bearings are pretty cool looking here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's pop these in for my son and see how easy they are. You guys know that I like the rain skates because of how perfect the fit is by doing it with your hands. That was butter. That was butter. Okay, dude. So far, that's 1 star for the dragon formula. But what's the consistency? Okay, that was alright. I was getting nervous about that one. Shoot. How's that look? That looks pretty sick. I was looking for these yellow ones I saw on another website. The yellow jackets. They were yellow and black, and I was wanting to get those, but then it just gets ridiculous with paying shipping or not paying shipping. And SoCal always sends me it for free. So most of the time I order, I got something to tell you. Let me finish that thought. Most of the time I order from SoCal. Did they give me an extra one? No. I guess this was going to be your job, and then I ended up doing it. All right. Most of the time I order from SoCal because it's free shipping. But I came across a site that I hadn't looked at in 5 years, and I love this particular site for decks. I mean, for anything. I have to share it with you guys. I'm pretty sure most of the people. Let's put the base plate on. Should we do that? Or the riser? I think we need to put the riser on first. Most of you haven't heard of this website, and it's called Strange House. Go look. Pull up strangehouse.com. It's an online skate shop only. And go in the deck section. And for instance, go look at like a brand like Black Label. I was on there last night, and you know I like Black Label. You know I've been shopping Black Labels like crazy. I bought a dozen Black Label boards easy in the 7 years I've been skating. 7 or 8 years I've been doing this. Easy a dozen. Probably, it wouldn't surprise me if there was more. I have so many decks. But I saw Black Label decks on that website that I never seen before. I'm not even joking. And then you start looking at all the other brands, and it's the same thing. So I was on there last night, and I'm telling you, the Black Label stack was thick. So if you're looking for something cool and new, maybe a punk point, I've been wanting to add a punk point to the quiver, go look at this. Don't let me do stupid stuff, dude. Go look at the decks on that site. Strangehouse.net or something like that. Just Google Strange House. Skateboards. It'll come up. I wish that I hadn't already spent my skateboard money for the year. In January. How you liking your setup, Kelly? Do you want to try anything new? Do you ever see anything that you're like, because I get all these wheels for myself. I mean, you're a big part of you're sponsored by the channel too. Channel don't make much money, but it can certainly put you in gear. You want knee pads, right? So he wants to get on some 187 Pro knees. He's using the fly pads, and you know, it really sucks having to take your shoes off and pull those things on socks. Some of the beginners out there may not realize the difference, but the Pro knee pads usually fold around the back of your knee, and you don't have to take your shoes off. And that's pretty rad. All right, where's my tool at? Let's get this torqued down. Kelly, what else do I need to talk about? Oh, I know. So, I've had some comments lately on some of my shorts. Let me pull up. Will you finish tightening this up? You want to do this here, or
I'll do it on the ground.
You'll do it on the ground? Thank you, sir. Yeah, get those tightened up for me. Let me do this. All right, so let me pull up my YouTube channel. I want to read you these comments here. I'm looking at a short I did. Groove Guy. What the F? Why? Okay, and I got a comment from Dingus Collective, 1872, probably the year he was born. Same year my brother was born, 2 years younger than me. So he's 51, and his comment is, as a crosslocker, I prefer grinding my trucks on curbs and pools, hoping to get the groove on the hillside of the back truck. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if I had a bowl out here that had pool coping at 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, I'd be stoked on it. We don't have that scenario out here until it reaches 9 feet. And now I've carved grind on it, I've slash grind on it, I can get on it at 9 feet. It feels fine with my truck with the grooves. It's not scary at all. It's not any more scary or anything like that. It's probably less scary, truthfully. But I agree. I don't ride that kind of pool enough. And if I get on curbs, you don't get any real defined groove. You just rough your trucks up. So if I wasn't gonna carve a groove into my truck manually, you know, with my hands and my power tools, then I most certainly would go out and sloppy every set of trucks before I rode them at the skate park. So, and I recommend any of you newbies do the same thing too. But I know you're already freaked out about grinding on a curb anyway, because the sloppy takes a lot of you got to throw yourself into that, and most of you guys are too afraid to do that. You go over the handlebars every time. You got to expect that. You got to drive and push your feet into it. That's what you're doing wrong. I was like that for years, and I just didn't understand that. You just got to hit it super hard. And let me see if I can see the other comments. It might not have been on this short. This guy says, this is Tramasona 274, says, get comfortable being uncomfortable. The grooves only help with first learning. You should grow out of doing that and let the grooves form naturally. Why? Why should you do that? Why? Is there a rule? Is he a gatekeeper? Is he a gatekeeper? No, he's not. I'm not dissing on this guy either. Why, though? Why? The thing that everybody hates is breaking in a new set of trucks. So who is not letting people think that they can go and dial their trucks in ahead of time and make them the way they like them? I mean, especially if you're a seasoned skater and you know which way your grooves happen to form and the way that you like them. What's wrong with putting a little head start in it? I mean, if you like a crooked grind and you like the angle of those grinds, I think they look cool on trucks. I'm certainly not going to put them in my trucks because I don't do it like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. So why? That's what I say to you. You got the board there? Let's hold it up. Man, it does look big. And it does feel heavy. It looks good. We still got to put the green rails on. Let's see those green rails. See what that's going to look like right there. Oh, I think that'll look pretty cool. But, what was I saying? Okay, so that was a comment. This was not the right post. So I really don't like using it without a mouse. Let me see. How many comments do I have here? 6 comments. It might be on this one. I will cross lock. I will say cross lock on a 10-inch truck does feel weird. But I ride 9, and it seems like the largest truck before it gets weird trying to cross lock. It does get weird. Then somebody's mad about my language. So I'm just going to say, wind, moon, sun. Language, please, homie. I didn't expect this from you. And let it run with my family right here. Cool vid otherwise. So at least there's some props. I cuss. And I cuss around my kids. And I teach my kids not to do it around me. And not to do it around anyone else. I homeschool, though. My kids are... they know what's going on in the world around them. I'll tell them anything. I talk to them about anything. But... you know, they're in my sight almost all the time. So my kids are great kids, but they don't cuss. So I apologize for the viewers that watch around their kids and feel stressed out about someone dropping an F-bomb. I don't feel stressed out about that. It's hard to avoid in the music. So I just teach my kids, I better not hear you talk like that. And they listen to me. But I'm not one of those soft parents. And, I guarantee your kid's hearing that at school. And I'm the homeschooler. So, anyway. Next post. It's not that one. So, it's got to be this next one. Maybe it's not. I was an indie guy my whole life. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here's one. So this is Neil Hester skateboarding. I subscribed to Neil recently. I saw what he was doing on his channel. I like the way he skates and all of that. But his comment, definitely a bad idea to cut grooves. Definitely. Definitely, dude. It's a bad idea. Skate them. Let them make natural grooves. And that way, they suit and fit your riding style. And they feel properly natural when grinding. Dude. You're like 40. You're like in your 40s. You're a skateboarder who's been skateboarding for a long time. And I have looked at his channel. He does grind on concrete coping, and I would be less worried about concrete coping. All the skateboarding I do is on metal coping, and I'm constantly doing reviews of new trucks and changing trucks. That's really part of the groove thing. I don't have one pair of trucks I've been using for the last 5 years. I don't grind a lot of concrete, and if I do slappies, I use a pair of Indy 215s that already suck. I ain't much of an Indy 215 fan. That does not go for the other Indy trucks. Only the 215 sucks. But anyway, Neil, it's a bad idea. Let the grooves go naturally. So I'm not going to ever get grooves, Neil, riding on concrete coping. It's not going to happen. If it does, it's going to get a little dull, maybe a little flat in one area. And what you need to remember, Neil, is that I'm 52. I started skateboarding at 46. I was almost 47 when I started. I didn't know how to do a stall, I learned it all straight up, and I tried to go as fast as I could. Now, by the point where I find myself now at 52, man, my knees, I need to preserve everything I got. So, sure, it feels uncomfortable doing a grind anyway. Even with my groove, it feels uncomfortable doing grinds still. It's not as bad. I've certainly gotten a lot better. I can grind off the hills. I can lock in my heel wheels, and I can do it like that. I can get it crossed like that. I'm not too afraid of that. But this is how I do it. And so this is the gatekeeper thing of skateboarding. Like, what is wrong with me doing it like that? Some of the new skaters judge people the hardest, which is funny to me. That's like, bro, how many older dudes have I met that would never learn to stall? They tried. They tried and tried and tried and tried, and they never learned to stall. Those are the people that would judge me the most for cutting a groove into my truck. And they never learned to stall. That's my point. Do this because it's going to help you get over the plateau to the next hurdle. You have to do something that gets you there. And if you're just the guy that doesn't have the cojones in you to get comfortable, like Neil says, with the fear, then this might be your only option. This might be the chance you hack it versus getting bored and stop skateboarding because you're not making any new gains. And you older street skaters that finding it's hard on your body, like the pool or the bowl is scary to you because you don't know how to do it. But when you learn how to do it more, it's more fun. It really is more fun. Being able to just roll off something, generate speed, take a ride, pop out, that's super fun. And I don't know that, I see the old dudes down below at my skate park, and they just, how many times can you do a little power slide on a bank or a little ollie on a bank? I mean, at the bowl, we're up there having fun, like legit. So anyway, let me go. And Neil, I wanted to talk to you. Your corner grinds, the rounded corners on a square bowl. I saw you do some of those, and I saw you do some in a clover-shaped bowl. Dude, you're on it. Those look sick. And I'm pretty sure you've probably been skating through your whole life. And I think you said that to me in a comment, that you never quit and you kept going. And that's why you're so comfortable. But at my age, starting at 46, bro, how comfortable do you think I'm going to get at my age before my knees say, oh, sorry for dads. Hold up. You know what I'm saying, though? Do you get it? I'm trying to just keep going at this. I'm not trying to please the gatekeepers in skateboarding. I'm not trying to. I don't care what they think. From the shorts that I wear, to the shoes that I designed, to my haircut. I just do what I want. And it doesn't matter. So let me go find this comment. Killian wants to go get his guitar, so I need to take this very serious, don't I, Killy?
Yeah.
How do I get up to the top of the page? Oh, this button, huh? This one, his soldier says, have you thought about placing grooves where they would form naturally? You always form them by your near wheels, or near your wheels, and they develop because of frequent grinds to allow this, blah, 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 to unlock. And there's more placement. Yes, this is the board. I did this on, let's see if you can see it there. I did 3 little grooves, 1, the center groove, and 3. And so far, I haven't liked it enough. It hasn't been helpful. The wheels are a stopping point for me, and the center is where I go in and out of. So I can adjust myself to the center. A lot of times I slide out on the wheel, but I'm comfortable staying there, especially if on my front truck I'm in the middle groove. I've learned kind of that I like to have my front truck have a deeper groove, and my back truck I don't really care as much at all. I don't know that I would even need one on my back truck because I just don't even really care where the lock is that much there. But the front truck, if your front wheel, you know, your heel wheel drops down and you're on that, that's a sketchy grind. I still ride those through all the time. But the reason the crosslock doesn't work as well for me is because I ride with my trucks a little tighter. The key to a good crosslock is obviously having really flexible trucks so you can get that pinch. When they pinch like that, that's the way you can really lock in and go fast around coping. The heel wheel lock, personally, to me, that grind doesn't look as good. It kind of looks more like a carve grind, a little bit like a carve grind. So I just, style-wise, I don't like that as much. I honestly think the Gull Wing Kingpin grind on a long grind looks the best. I think if Neil Hester, am I just throwing that out? Did I just make up Neil's name? I might have made up that name, Neil, either way. Maybe I think I knew someone named Neil Hester. But anyway, no, Neil Hester Skateboarding, that's right. Anyway, I think if you were able to grind like that on that concrete coping as fast as you go around some of those corners, I think that would look so sick. I mean, get some Gull Wings on there and let me see you do it, because I think that'd be pimp. If you do it, I'll advertise that on my channel and spit it out there as a well done grind. So anyway, let's try to find this comment. I know it's on this video. Killian, how do I go to the videos? How do I go to my videos? So I gotta hit the back button? How is it you know this stuff and I don't? You've got very little time on computers anyway. Alright, it's this video I did. And honestly, this video did not get many views. It's the one that says, I got proof, check the receipts. This is a pretty good video, you guys. If you didn't see that, I think you should go back and look at it. I uploaded it 6 days ago. So let me go on this video and go here down to the comments. Okay, so we got another comment from Neil Hester. And let's see. Okay, so no, this is Darko Nation, dude. I dig Darko Nation. Shout out to you, man. I always like your comments, and I thank you for being on my channel. I appreciate you. Where did I see? I thought I saw another Neil Hester. There it is. Neil left a comment that I think I wanted to respond to as well. Neil says, I totally agree with filming bowl sessions. It's kind of hard to make look exciting without having an actual filmer person for all your sessions. I can mostly do is plant the camera, different spots, and move it every few minutes. Yeah. Okay, so he says he's tried many different camera angles at the same time, and the editing becomes a huge task, and yeah, absolutely. I'd love to boot camp you using wheel edge against the coping. Neil, I've been doing this for 7 years now. I know how to do that, okay? But appreciate your offer. I'd like to skate with you. Against the coping. You're never too far gone to learn it. And it would help you a lot. I'm never too far gone? Like, he's a gatekeeper. Neil, do you really mean that like that? Or did that come out wrong? When you say I'm never too far gone to learn it the right way, like, come on, dude. Like, this is the thing that the newbies that might go on your channel will hear you say or talk like this, and they think like this, dude. If you really want to grow, and hey, I shoot myself in the foot on this channel all the time. Whether I'm against the V, right? Against the V, I was against the V, and that pissed a lot of people off. And you guys, one particular guy, local guy, used to give me a lot of shit about it. Who's right now, homie? Who's right now? Anyway, I shoot myself in the foot all the time. But I don't really care either. So if you're that guy, that's fine. But I don't think my skating's too far gone. I mean, I'm getting paid to skate. It's not too far gone. It would help you a lot. Especially with long stand-ups around corners. Trust me. But sadly, I'm 1,000 miles away, and it'd be impossible to do it in reality. That means coach me. So he loves my enthusiasm, by the way. So Neil, I'm not trying to hate on you, and I don't think you're trying to hate on me. But there's not some textbook way of skateboarding that I feel like I need to follow, right? I'm doing it my way. And I'm trying to let other guys know that they can do it this way too. Because there's been so much programming from Thrasher, from skaters, from pros, from beginners that think you got to do it a certain way. You don't have to do it a certain way. You can, I mentioned I like Ninja Lifestyle, and he's been, roasting some of these skaters that do these fancy artsy fartsy tricks or roll-on grinds and, some of the stuff they do. Man, I appreciate the stuff they do, so I don't agree with him on that. It doesn't make me like him any less. I think he's funny as shit. I even like hearing him talk about that stuff, but I don't agree with him. So anyway, that's not the comment that I was thinking about. Whoa. Someone wants to know about my shorts. He says my short game is, I'm in charge of that. He's not talking about short videos. He's talking about the shorts I wear. I'm going to do a video on that. It's funny. I do wear some funny shorts, don't I? Please do shorts about your shorts. You have an undeniable game, a shorts game. Variety, colors, and styles. Woo! I got a good kick out of that. Anyway, I don't see that other comment. So there's some people that come on and comment about it like they might be interested. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done with that topic. Let's finish this board up, Killian, and go get your... So I don't know, man. It's funny how something like that can be so polarizing. There's a... You know what? I'll use these. Will you open these for me? I was going to take this skateboard out to the park today. And I might still. I really, even if it's only a couple of runs, I'd like to just run it around. It's like that cellophane. when we when we got this deck, it had cellophane wrapped on it, and I could not tear the cellophane open. Killian says, hey, let me get that. Let me get at that. And he could not tear it with 2 hands, the cellophane off this deck. I've never seen cellophane like this in my life. All right, rails. Where are we going to put these guys? You know what? Let's just not think about it too much. I can't tell if it's right. Okay, it's right. Killy, do you want to go to the park?
I don't care.
And grab just a couple runs, or maybe even if you don't even want to skate and you just want to like get my first opinion on this board, we could do that. Now, this board has little wavy lines down the rails, so I think I know exactly where to put this one based on that. If I just get it the same distance away. Starting to look like a real board now. Shit, dude. Looks like I'm back a little too far. I can't have that. I'm moving that one. I can't have that because it overlaps the back wheel well a little bit. I feel like the wheel wells might be off a tiny bit. That'll work. I'll just average it out. Okay, don't overscrew your rails. Or your blank. Okay. Put that right in there. I'm going to throw these babies a curve a little bit. Oh, now I wish I had a power screwdriver in here.
You do behind you.
Do I? Yeah. It doesn't have a... Oh, wait. Do I really? Shoot, dude. Look at this. Killy, dude. Thank you. I'm just not going to put it in all the way. See, that's pretty good. Don't do it. Resist the temptation to bury that sucker. How much easier is that, though? Three clicks is all you need. 1, 2. That was 2. That was 2. There's people out there saying, man, you should have stopped that at no clicks. Let's test it. Oh, I got one more. Dude. What kind of action's that? Alright, I'm feeling the end. We're reaching the end here. Let's leave this right. I don't use any screws in my normal life, only tornillos. So I don't want to, that's my, wait, I need that. I'm going to test it. Look at this one, dude. I didn't even use the screw gun on this one, did I? All right, snug, snug, snug. Yes. How do you think about the green, Killian?
I like it.
Did the green just hit it perfect? I was thinking like, I saw some shout out to Frankie on the Prodigal Son Facebook page. The group there, your pink snot wheels. I thought they would look pretty sick on this deck, like a hot pink. I'm not really a pink guy, but I'm feeling that. Did you get those on there enough? It's a, man, it's a, feels weird, huh? Like it feels soft but smooth. Well, we're gonna have to go test it out. Yeah, there it is. There it is, guys. 35 total inches in length, 17.5 inches from bolt to bolt, and 10 inches wide. It has an interesting, it has a nice concave across the board. Big bubble. It's really nice concave here. I usually like a deep concave. The tail's interesting though. It's pretty long, but man, that tail doesn't start to go up. I mean, until like 1.5 inches behind the board. And then the tail seems pretty short here. But the nose, I really like the nose. And then there's the grip. I think, let's get the thumbnail right now. Ben Dagros would not like this, but yeah! Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to edit this one up for you tonight.
I will.
So yeah, he will. My son will. Yes. And we'll probably run by the skate park after we pick up the guitar and get a run. And we'll show you something on this board. I'll give you something short at least. Okay. Peace out, man. Late. Sorry the live stream didn't work today, man. They messed with me hard on that thing. I couldn't get it to work.